College. Like all big colleges in Canada, we are a community college, but in addition to that, we also have the Polytechnic status. Only 13 of the entire college gamut in Canada, they have the Polytechnic status. The idea is we work in integration with the industry. We develop our programs based on the need of the hour. Whatever demands there in the economy, whatever we think, the kind of human resource we would require, that forms the basis of our curriculum. We work very closely with the human resource for various parts of the industry. And that's the reason why we also are known as the Polytechnic. Okay, and why we can use the provincial name, because we form a niche position. So since most of you here are agents, you would know if you are recruiting for Saskatchewan, you have very few choices. You've either got the 2 universities, or it's Saskatchewan Polytechnic, or the 3 community colleges. We sit right in between the colleges and the university. A lot of college programs are affiliated through us. And our programs, a lot of them have pathway to move to a full degree at a later stage as well. Okay? So, again, because I wasn't expecting that big a crowd originally, this looks more like a classroom training. My index, I have a feeling, could be larger than the entire presentation, but okay. So just we're going to touch upon the history, what campus we have. We've got 4 different campuses, I'm going to touch upon that later. Why you should consider coming to Saskatchewan Polytechnic. What kind of programs we have, again, wide range of programs. So I'll just touch upon the streams, and then we can discuss about individual programs, should you choose to do that later. Work placements, what kind of co-op opportunities we have, what kind of fees you're looking at, accommodation, how our students procure their accommodation, and our contact details. So, history. Okay, let's start with some history lessons now. As I said, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, originally we were 4 community colleges. This starts obviously from year 1988. Our history goes back to as far behind as 1941. Veterans from First World War came in to join some of our institutions as tertiary classes. So after the veterans came back, they wanted basic skills again to get into workforce. That's how it started. But in 1988, the SIAS, as I said, Saskatchewan Institute of Applied Science, SIAS Act came over, and we were put together as one institution. In 2012, we got the Polytechnic status. And in 2014, again, by the provincial award, we got the name as Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Okay. All right. So now we have 4 different campuses. For those of you who are probably not recruiting for us, these names would be a bit of a tongue twister again. So Saskatoon, that's the largest city. It's the business hub. Just to compare it with India, like we have Mumbai as the business capital, Saskatoon is the business hub for our province. The largest city, funny enough though, the largest city has about 170,000 people. Okay? Next in queue is obviously the capital city, which is Regina. Again, about 155, 160,000 people. Third one, which is Moose Jaw. It's an hour's drive from Regina, the capital city. So if students headed to Moose Jaw, they're going to land in Regina and then drive over to Moose Jaw. Small location, about 50,000 people, again, but we are a large institution there. We run a lot of co-op-based programs, a lot of engineering programs. So if you're a student at Saskatchewan Polytechnic and you reside in Moose Jaw, most people would know what you're doing there. Okay? Prince Albert, it's the northmost part of the province, and then there is forest after that. But that gives Prince Albert again an edge, because most of our natural science programs are run at Prince Albert. It's known as the Gateway of the North. Okay. So those are the 4 campuses. Between those 4 campuses, our entire student population is about 12,500 students. Okay. Divided in those 4 campuses. Now, each campus has its specialization. It's important if you ever recruit for us, please remember, we are unable to change the campus, because every campus has a specialization, and we open seats for programs in individual unique campus. Okay, so why us? So coming back to the Polytechnic bit, because we are the largest source of human resource for our industry, for the province. We are the primary source of post-secondary education for people looking at hands-on application-based education. We are integrated with the industry. If you're coming over, especially to Saskatchewan, with an idea that you want to study and then get practical exposure, we could be your primary choice. Our education is based on a 60-40 principle, so in almost every program, unless it's not possible, we try and put in a 60% classroom and a 40% practical. In addition, the engineering programs also have the co-op work placements, which takes care of a lot of your work experience that you may require in case you want to apply for long-term stay later. Okay? Now, participating in obviously application-based education, I'm assuming that's what students are usually looking for, because South Asian countries, most of our education is traditional, more classroom-based, one-way communication, but that does not prepare students for real application-based environment. They're not ready for work, and that's what we specialize in. Okay, now we have a wide range of programs. We've just touched upon the kind of programs we have. We are developing more and more PG programs. So the 5 that we have currently are, we've got a supply chain program, software development, technology management, accountancy and management. In addition to this, again, because we develop programs based on the industry, we are coming up with a PG in cyber security. We are working on a PG in artificial intelligence. We are coming up with data analytics. Okay. Besides that, we have got some unique programs. For instance, Saskatchewan's growing. We are coming up with a lot of construction. We see there's a need for construction managers. So there's a unique bachelor's program. So if you have a background in civil, you can do a full Canadian bachelor's in just 2 years. Okay, but you need to either have a certified diploma, full diploma in civil engineering from a recognized institution, or a full civil engineering degree. Okay, 2 years of study and you get a full Canadian bachelor's. Besides this, again, there's a host of diploma programs. So the 2-year diploma, we have got engineering in multiple streams. You name it, we have it. So mining, mechanical, electrical engineering, power engineering, civil, environmental, host of them. Business, again, multiple specializations. All these diplomas are usually 2.5 years. Okay. The advantage of studying at Saskatchewan Polytechnic is that about 90% of these diplomas can be converted to a full degree. Either immediately right after your program, you can jump straight to a university and finish your full degree, or utilize your work experience and then study later, obviously within a stimulated period, but that's also a possibility. So students, if they are looking to go for a program, get the learning and then get work environment, get that work experience and then move on, then probably we would be a great choice. Okay. We also have a lot of human service programs such as disability support worker, continuing care assistant, as well as natural science programs such as integrated resource management. Okay. I'm just going to talk a little bit about our economy. Saskatchewan originally was an agriculture-based economy. Okay. We produce a big chunk of Canada's food source, right? Not just that, we are exporting a lot of food produced to international markets. India, by the way, is one of our largest buyers of lentils and chickpea. Peas, pulses, a lot of that is being exported even to India. So if you had chickpea for lunch today, there's a possibility that came from Saskatchewan. Okay. Other than that, we also produce a lot of other natural resources. So there is uranium. Our Premier of Saskatchewan, he was in India last November, trying to renew our contract because India is again one of our largest buyers of uranium because India has a lot of nuclear power plants. We are bringing in that. We produce a lot of oil. So when you see the programs, somewhere they're all connected to our industry. Supply chain, for instance, we are producing and we are pulling out a lot of natural resources. That all needs to move. Supply chain is a big industry. That's how the programs come in. Okay. So integration to industry is really, really important when it comes to studying in Canada, especially in Saskatchewan, right? Okay, so student support. Now, again, as a college which is growing with international students, we understand there's a lot of demand. Students would require that support. So we've got obviously international student advisors, some of them which are also authorized to discuss, especially your student visa permit requirements. If you need any assistance, there are authorized people who can assist you with that. There are liaison officers and student assistants. So if should you take up a program, you're facing difficulties, you wish to make a change, or you require a one-on-one assistance, those will be the people you're going to go talk to. If you're feeling lonely, and then I've been an international student myself, there are times because there's a big shock, right? Cultural shock, your education system has changed. Then you might also be struggling covering up between your education and your part-time work. Should you feel the need to go talk to someone, those would be the people that you go talk to. You've got health services. By the way, Saskatchewan is one of the few provinces where your health is still covered free of cost by the province. Again, thanks to our province, the provincial population is so little, the government is able to take care of your health cover. Okay? So if you're studying in Saskatchewan or if you're a worker or a resident, your health is covered by the government. Then comes the learning services. So in case you're struggling with your classroom education and if you need one-to-one assistance, you can take time from the faculty, they'll be able to assist you. However, please let the students know there's always that catch. If you don't show up in your classroom and then you need one-to-one assistance, that may not happen. Okay? If the faculty needs to understand that you're a genuine student, you've just missed out on some bits, they'll always be around to help you. Okay? Then there is our student association. So if you want to take part in co-curricular activities, sports, you would probably want to be a part of our student associations. Here's one example that I always like to quote. So because the number of international students are now growing and people are taking note, we have a lot of inclusiveness in our student associations as well. Last year, one of our students, again from South Asian market, he became the president of the entire student association. Now that's a big thing. If you're going to an institution wherein there is a huge amount of international population, then you just probably become a head in the entire count, right? But if you're going to a province where the numbers are still growing, you stand a chance to meet the competition. You stand a fair chance to prove your ability. And if you have the ability, you have a chance to succeed and shine out. Okay, and then we also have our student award programs, which is scholarship. I've been hearing about scholarship, so that's great. Like all institutions, we do have scholarship, but we don't have any upfront or admission-based scholarship. Our reasoning behind it is that because we get students, again, from various markets in South Asia, Korea, Japan, all over the place, we cannot look at your scores in your home country to give you a scholarship. But after your first semester exams, based on the scores that you get, you can apply for scholarships. And year on year, we've had a budget of between $1 to $1.5 million for scholarships. An average student can get anything up to $2,000, $3,000 in scholarship, but it depends on your percentage, how you perform in our classrooms. Okay. Right, now co-op work placements. Most of our engineering programs offer you 8 months to 1 year of placement that is sandwiched right between your programs. So you study for a part, then we look out for co-op placements for you. Of course, students have to be selected, you have to be interviewed and be selected. But the co-op work placements, once you get them, you get 8 months to about 1 year's work experience, which then prepares you. When you finish your program, when you go out for your job applications, that work experience is very, very handy. And in a place like Saskatchewan, again, because of our limited population, limited workforce availability, there's a high probability if an employer has seen you work for 8 months to 1 year, and you work well, they might want to give you that job. Okay? Most business programs, the business diplomas that we have, they also have an optional co-op available. Students have the option to choose if they would want to take up the co-op work placement or they just want to go with the course straight off. Right, now about the fees. Most undergrad programs fall between 14,000 to about 17,000 Canadian a year. The postgrad programs can go up to 19,000 Canadian a year. Okay, that's what you're looking at. I want to just clarify here the postgrad programs currently, because they're all 1 year courses, they do not have a co-op available. However, we are trying to bundle up the PG programs to, so they'd be like 2 year programs. That's a constant request we have from students as well as our agent partners in India and nearby markets that they want to look at 2 year PG programs because that's the interest of students. Most students want to go straight for a 2 year course. So we are looking at the option of bundling up our programs. Depending on students, we can tailor the bundle options. Okay. Living expenses, we claim that the living expenses are about 10,000 Canadian and that's based on what has been suggested by the High Commission. Remember again, Saskatchewan, like other smaller locations, is very, very economical. you could be living reasonably, and this is from student feedback. Students could be living anything between $800 a month up to $1,200. Okay, that's a realistic figure. Okay, now accommodation, not my favorite topic here. As a college, we do not have on-campus accommodation. Of course, we come up with rental registries. We pull out that list and we put it on our website. Students are free to rent out accommodation in all 4 locations. There's University of Regina, which has, obviously they have a campus accommodation arrangement. Some students, especially studying in Regina or Moose Jaw, might want to take that up. Saskatoon, we have a Canada Homestay Network as well. So if a student is interested, they can sign up through Canada Homestay Network. Okay. Okay, so that's the connect. In case you want to get in touch with us, please keep that handy for your students also. Should they have any inquiries, they can connect with us there. Okay. I see throughout this day we haven't spoken as much about weather. The minute people, especially the ones who know of Saskatchewan, the first question they have is, do you live in igloos? No, we don't, right? Guys, except obviously Vancouver and Vancouver Island, they do have an edge when it comes to weather, okay? The best part of the country, the most scenic part of the country is there. Other than that, all of Canada it does get really, really cold. There's no denying that Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta, they do get colder. Especially if you look at it in specific numbers, we touch a -35, with the wind chill we can feel like -50. Honestly guys, the country is designed around that weather, okay? So we just keep going through the weather, right? There are tons of jokes. If you make it to Saskatchewan, there will always be jokes about the weather. But the fact is, it's designed on the entire, the entire location is designed on that weather. We have got enough arrangements, whether it's your clothing gear, whether it's the infrastructure, everything's developed around that weather. Please pass that on, because that's the first thing that I get asked is whether it's really cold in Saskatchewan. The other side of the coin though, I would like to talk about that bit as well. So when I say, oh well, I'm here to promote Saskatchewan, people want to go to Saskatchewan because, well, if I go to Saskatchewan, I can get permanent residence in 3 months. Lie. Let's be honest guys, I've spoken enough about the population bit. Yes, we are low on population. So there is a very attractive provincial nominee program. There's no lie there. However, students need to understand, only if they take up a good program, they study well and they can land themselves in a good job, especially a job relevant to their course of study. I mean, we don't want someone to study engineering and then become a fryer at McDonald's, right? If you study the program which is relevant and then you can find a relevant job, yes, permanent residence is straight off. Please pass on that message. Again, the fact that just making it to Saskatchewan will get you permanent residence is a lie, right? Okay. Okay, I think I went a little too early with the presentation bit, but I can open the floor to questions.
Thank you so much, Ami. Let's give a round of applause.